Hello YouTube, my name is Brian from NY Blade EDC, and on the table today I'm excited about this one. Doesn't need really any introduction for most of you, but this is the Reeve Sebenza 21. So let's get into the numbers. I don't want to talk about it too much. 3.6 inch blade, S35 VN steel. That is Chris Reeves' signature steel at the moment. There are some rumors, some of them have been confirmed, that he is starting to implement some higher end steels. S45 VN I know is confirmed, and even possibility of 20 CV or M390, one of those, has been kind of tossed out there. But enough of that. 3.6 inch blade, done with that. 4.71 inch handle, so nice long slender handle there, and an 8.33 inch overall knife. So that 8.33 inch knife weighs 4.7 ounces for the plain Jane titanium version. Now this one, being with the carbon fiber scale, it's gonna be a hair lighter. I haven't weighed it, and I didn't even bother to look up the weight because I don't really care about it. So just say it's a little lighter, probably about 4.4 ounces. So not too much difference. But that being said, moving into the size comparison here, I have three of the typical ones I use. The XM18 3.5 inch, also one of my favorite knives ever. These two are probably neck and neck. I love these two. Now what I like to call the budget Sebenza, the Ontario Rat Model 1, almost identical. It probably is. I gotta look up the size of this. I will be doing a review on this because I keep putting this in my videos as a size comparison and never do a review on it. I have two more here. Spyderco PM2 M390 version, which is a hair shorter than the Sebenza, but my camera angle, because my angle is a little bit farther back, it looks like they were about the same size, which they are not. And one that is not typically used is the Microtech SOCOM. So as you can see, the SOCOM is a larger knife. It's a 4-inch blade and a 9-inch overall versus the 8.33 inch overall. So let's line them up there. That's the difference, about a finger width. So let's get that out of the way. And you know what bothers me is people say this is such a massive knife and then don't say that that's such a large knife. They're only different by about that much. So I guess it's just because it got this little wide fat end on it. But all right, moving on into my rating system. This is one of the highest rated knives on my channel, I believe, just going off the top of my head, like a majority of my videos. Size rating, 16 out of 20, starting hot out of the gate. I love the size of this knife. I feel like it's perfect all around. It doesn't take up much room in the pocket. It's a very slender, narrow profile. It is not a wide, fat knife. Definitely fits in the pocket very well, and doesn't take up much room. You got a 3.6 inch blade, perfect. Cuts almost anything you're gonna need to do. If you need anything much bigger than 3.5 inches for an EDC use, you're probably looking into fixed blades at that point. But handle, perfect. Get a full grip, all 4 fingers on there. I even have a hair left over with my XL hands. So size rating, 16 out of 20. Now on to ergos. So I know I rave about the size of the knife and that I can get a full grip, but the ergos, I mean, it's a plain knife. It's nothing flashy, does the job, doesn't feel bad, no hot spots. The clip, I mean, feels like you can feel it, but it's not a hot spot by any means. So I wouldn't say that takes away from the knife, but you can feel it. But ergos, like I said, plain as could be. They do the job. If they were a little bit more ergonomic, I would say they would be higher. But I gave it a 12 out of 20. They do the job. They're not flashy, and so on and so forth. But moving on now to fit and finish. If you were expecting anything less than 18.5 out of this knife, then you're sadly mistaken. Chris Reeve is number one for repetitive quality on a knife. I have not once handled a Sebenza or any Chris Reeve that has had lock, stick, blade play, or any other deformity to the knife. I've gone over this knife. I've taken it apart maybe about 3 times now. I've cleaned it up. I love the hex pivot and how deep it goes. So you're not going to strip these out at all. When you're taking this apart, you get a sense of how tight the tolerances are, because these things will not come out unless you have it perfectly straight. They do not want to come out at all. So the fit and finish on this knife is fantastic. Blade is centered, no lock play, or blade play, excuse me, no up and down, no side to side, 0 lock stick, and all the things you'd want in a knife. And this is why Chris Reeve is like the benchmark for fit and finish and quality. It's just hands down, far and away the best. So that is an opinion. Let me state that. My opinion is that Chris Reeve is hands down the best. So let's put it that way so we don't offend some of you. Fit and finish, 18.5, like I said. Moving on to action. Action is that glass, butter smooth, lock up, come close. Oh my God, just gorgeous. It just feels great. It's just something about a Sebenza and the way it feels in your hand. The fact that you don't feel it when it's going like that is because it's so smooth. That says something to me. So action, I gave it a 16.5 out of 20. And it's not a drop shutty knife. It's not like this, like the Tiger Flipper from CKF is just wants to drop shut. It's finger guillotine. It is not that. And the fact that it's just so smooth, I can't say it enough. It's just butter, and I love it. And that's, a lot of people love it. That's why this knife is revered as one of the best EDC knives ever. So 16.5 out of 20. Now, final thing here, we got price. The plain Jane large will run you $450 for titanium and S35 VN. I think that's fine because of the quality you're getting. Chris Reeve is an awesome maker. Like, I'm one of those big, you're buying the maker kind of things. So Chris Reeve is a great guy. He runs a great business. The quality's fantastic. They're made in USA, Idaho to be specific. And just the design is classic. It's timeless. I don't think it's going to be beat for the nostalgia or not that, the cult like following that it has. It's just immaculate. So for the plain Jane, $450 I feel is justified. So I say that's a good price, but these, you can get all these fancy different versions too. Like this one, the Knife Arts exclusive will be $550. So just to get a carbon fiber scale, you're up in the price $100. It's a little tough to justify it, but you can get them on the secondary for a decent price. Like I got this for less than $450. So there's a plus and minus there. But there's also the inlaid versions with like micarta. You got the plain and the black. You got the box elder, the bog oak, the spalted beech, and the massacre ebony, I believe is how you pronounce it. You got all those choices, and they have the cool polished finish. I will pull out my small because I have this. You can get that nice polished bevel there, and then the polished flats, and it's just beautiful. So that is my small, as you can see. You know, I should have put that in the small, or the size comparison. There you go. But back to this. The price for like the higher ends, I've seen them up to $750, maybe even $800 for like the Damascus with the unique designs, they call them, which they're like, I think they're like one-offs, every single one of them. That's why they're called unique designs. But I still think that's pretty cool. So I justify that price, and I gave it a 14 out of 20. Could be better. I'd rather see this knife be a $300 knife, because then majority of people would be able to afford it. For those people that are like on the cusp of wanting this knife but can't justify $450, you know, if you drop it $150, that's a ton more people that'll pull the trigger immediately. So that puts it in the range of the SOCOM, and that's what I like. So with that being said, you got to add all those up. 77 out of 100. That's a fairly high score. I believe only one knife has actually scored close to 77, maybe 78, and I can't remember off the top of my head. But 77 out of 100. I say everyone needs to either handle one or get one. Give it a chance. People don't like how plain it looks. Get over that. This thing will blow your mind on the quality and how it performs. And I mean, this one's not really used too much. I haven't really carried it that often, but the Sebenzas I've handled, I've loved every single one of them. So I recommend you give them a try. Check one out for yourself. So, excuse me, that was a little burp that snuck up on me. All right, with that being said, thank you for watching. Leave a like or a comment, subscribe if you haven't done so, and I hope to see you guys for the next one.